In 15th century India, society was rigidly locked into a strict caste system. Your birth dictated your worth, creating a massive gap between wealthy landlords holding all power and oppressed laborers performing the grueling work. But a young boy named Nanak began acting completely out of step with this hierarchy. Instead of playing with the other children, he spent his days in deep, solitary meditation. One afternoon, while he was asleep in a field under the blistering sun, a massive king cobra approached him. But instead of striking, the venomous snake reared up, spread its wide hood, and cast a protective shadow over Nanak's face so he could rest. The locals who witnessed this realized the young boy possessed a connection to the divine, a connection powerful enough to override the natural laws of predator and prey. As Nanak grew into a teenager, his family tried to push him toward a normal life. His father handed him a substantial sum of money, with strict instructions to go to the market and execute a highly profitable business deal. But on his way into town, Nanak came across a group of ascetics, holy men who were starving and completely destitute. Knowing full well the anger he would face at home, Nanak took his father's business capital and spent every last coin buying food to feed the starving men. This choice to prioritize human survival over accounting was Nanak's first major practice of Vanchakna, sharing what one has with those who have nothing. In a culture obsessed with status and financial accumulation, taking capital meant for profit and giving it away to starving outcasts was a deeply radical act. This map illustrates the sheer scale of the Udasis. Nanak spent 24 years walking across the known world to spread a message of divine unity. The distances he covered on foot are staggering, pushing through the jungles of Assam and deserts of the Middle East. While resting in the holy city of Mecca, Nanak fell asleep with his feet pointing directly toward the sacred Kaaba. A local guard spotted him and was deeply offended by this apparent disrespect. The furious guard approached the sleeping traveler and kicked him, demanding he move his feet away from the house of God. Nanak remained calm, looked up at the guard, and gently replied, "Then turn my feet in a direction where Brad does not exist." The guard grabbed Nanak's legs and dragged them in a circle. As the story goes, whichever way the guard pulled his feet, the Kaaba and the entire environment around them appeared to shift with him. God, he proved, was everywhere. The confrontation successfully shattered the illusion that any single religion or geographic coordinate held a monopoly on the Creator. Later in his travels, Nanak arrived in a new village. Rather than seeking out the town elite, he chose to stay in the humble home of a poor, honest carpenter named Bailalo. This insulted the local leader, Malik Bhago, a wildly wealthy and corrupt official who smugly demanded Nanak attend a massive, lavish feast he was hosting. Nanak repeatedly declined the invitation. Infuriated, Bhago had Nanak dragged out into the open to face him in front of a massive crowd of onlookers. To explain his refusal, Nanak took a piece of Bhago's rich, decadent cake in one hand and squeezed it. To the horror of the crowd, thick drops of dark blood dripped from the crumbs. In his other hand, Nanak took a piece of Lalo's dry, coarse bread and squeezed it. Pure, white drops of milk trickled through his fingers. This terrifying display introduced the concept of kirat karni, the absolute requirement to earn your living through honest, diligent hard work. Immense wealth accumulated through the exploitation of the poor is spiritually toxic, stained with their blood. Lalo's dry bread, earned through honest sweat, offered the only true nourishment. After decades on the road, an older Nanak settled in the town of Kartarpur. Despite his massive following, he refused to act like a king, choosing instead to sweat in his own fields and practice exactly what he preached. It was here he formalized the Langar, a massive community kitchen with one unwavering rule. Everyone, from royals to outcasts, had to sit on the floor at the exact same level to eat. Maintaining a system of absolute equality requires immense, selfless physical labor. Today, you can still see volunteers washing thousands of communal dishes by hand to keep this institution running. By forcing the rich to eat shoulder to shoulder with the poor, The langar acted as a highly effective, practical weapon designed to destroy the caste system from the ground up. Near the end of his life, Nanak needed to ensure his mission would survive. He looked to Langa, a follower who had proven his loyalty through years of pure, selfless devotion and hard labor. In a moment that stunned his congregation, Guru Nanak, a man who had defied emperors and challenged religious empires, got down on his knees and bowed to Lena's feet. He renamed his devoted student Guru Angad, which translates to a part of my own body. By transferring his authority to someone outside his own bloodline, based entirely on merit, he ensured his community would be protected. This diagram illustrates the 3 pillars Guru Nanak left behind: Nam Japna, or meditating on God; Kirat Karni, earning an honest living; and Van Chakna, sharing your resources with those in need. The 3 pillars Nanak engineered replaced the chaos of the caste system with a repeatable method for social justice. By defining these specific duties, he ensured his vision of a fair and fearless society remained a physical, daily practice for every generation that followed.